I've listened to the audio, I don't know, maybe 400 times.
Oh, at least.
And I wish I was exaggerating for the open, but I literally checked my screen time 412 times. I watched the waveform, I've watched the analyzer bounce.
And you still don't know what you're looking at.
I still don't know if I'm looking at a piece of performance art or a crime scene.
It's the pop filter paradox.
Yeah.
That's what the forums are calling it now.
God.
And if you look at the audio forensics, I mean, you can't blame them for spiraling. You really can't.
We're all stuck. The entire timeline is just, it's frozen inside that vocal booth from 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Nobody has moved on from the Want My Mercy Back live stream. We're just living the echo of that that gunshot.
It's the sound that stopped the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being dramatic when I say that.
No, not at all.
We cover this stuff for a living, right? We've seen the leaks, the beefs, the marketing stunts. But what happened on January 25th? That wasn't content.
No.
Content is made to be, consumed. It's digestible. This felt like we saw a glitch in the Matrix. Like we were watching something we absolutely were not supposed to see.
It felt like watching intrusive surveillance. But okay, before we spiral, because I'm fully compromised here, my objectivity is like hanging by a single thread.
Same.
We have to look at the data. We have to. Because today is a big day. Today is the day the silence finally breaks.
It is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. We're recording this mid-afternoon, and if the countdowns on Spotify are right, we are just hours away from midnight.
The midnight drop. Thank you for listening.
The final album.
The exit album. The final bow.
Well,
or the suicide note. We still don't know. But before we get to that, and the leaks, and the diss track that nearly burned down our own network.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We have to do the thing. We have to do the legal dance.
The crucial disclaimer.
Yeah.
Especially given who the diss track targeted.
Right. So listen closely, because I really don't want to get sued, and I definitely don't want to get haunted. This is the Deep Dive aPodcast.
We are presented by Vivid Voices Media,
formerly known as Neon Core Media.
And let's be super clear on the name thing. Neon Core Media is not, and never was, Neon Vision Studios.
100%. We are fans. We are observers. According to the chat, we're the unofficial president and VP of the fan club.
I think I'm the treasurer. Actually, I handle the accounts.
You're the treasurer of the emotional damage, maybe? But here's the reality. We have NO affiliation, no ownership, no legal ties to Daniel Bates, D.L.B, 11SIX Music.
Neon Vision Studios, Orison Holdings, Visions to Ventures, or V2V, Dream 2 Real Management, none of it.
We are outsiders looking in. We are not on the payroll. We're not part of the exit architecture.
And you know what? After the last 10 days, I'm kind of glad we aren't, because the people inside that building, they are not having a good time.
No, they are not. So the mission for this deep dive, decode 10 days of absolute chaos.
Yep.
We have the diss track Hustle Harmonics break that we need to address because, yes, it's aimed at the male debater from our sister show, the Debate aPodcast. It's so awkward. The next office holiday party is going to be something else.
Oh, it's going to be a whole thing. We also have the flood of leaks home, breathe, last words. And we have the big question. Is the gunshot the end of the man or just the end of the character?
Did he die? Did he retire? Or did he just log off? And in 2026, I mean, is there even a difference anymore?
Okay, let's go back. Take me back to the 11SIX studio, January 25th, the Want My Mercy Back incident.
All right, let's try to strip the emotion away for a second. I know you were watching it live. I know you were shaken. We all were. But let's look at the forensics of it.
Okay.
The big debate is theater versus reality. The official statement from 11SIX, which, comes down from Visions to Ventures, is that D.L.B was not in the building.
Right.
They claim the audio was a Studio Master reference file with, embedded sound effects.
Which is just the most corporate way of saying, relax, it was just a WAV file. But the internet isn't buying it. And I'm not either. And there's a really good technical reason why nobody's buying it. If you go on the Echo Archive subreddit, and those guys are basically the CIA at this point, they pulled the waveform from the screen recording. They isolated the split second before that loud crack at 47.14.
The dead zone.
Right. So in a pre-recorded track, a sample you just drag and drop, the noise floor is usually clean. It's digital silence.
Okay.
But in this clip, right before the shot, there's a tiny spike in the low-end frequencies.
Explain that I'm 5, or I'm a liberal arts major, which I am.
It's the proximity effect. When a human mouth is super close to a mic and takes a sharp breath or moves suddenly, the air pressure hits the capsule.
It creates a rumble, a pop.
Exactly. That pop is in the waveform. A sample doesn't breathe. A sample doesn't have lungs.
So we're saying.
I'm saying that sound proves there was a biological presence in the vocal booth. The mic was hot. It was live.
Oh my God.
So when 11SIX says it was a reference file, the audiophysics literally disagree. Someone was in that booth.
That gives me actual chills. Because that implies what we heard wasn't a sound effect, it was an event.
It was an event.
But then you look at the room. You look at the people in the room.
This is where the visual evidence gets so heavy. You have the core team there. Zonsky, Murray Lux, Nistavias, Joyans, DJ River.
And for anyone new who's just tuning in cause of the drama, Zonsky isn't just a singer, she's the vocal rep. She's Juilliard trained. She turns D.L.B's chaos into actual music.
And Murray Lux is the heart. She's the vibe curator. If Zong is the brain, Murray is the whole nervous system.
Okay, so watch the video again. The moment of the gunshot. Zong doesn't jump. She just freezes.
She freezes solid. There's this comment from a user at Liquid Liner Queen that really stuck with me. She said, Zong didn't even blink. That's not shock. That's premeditation.
Whoa.
The theory is that Zong knew something was coming. She was bracing for impact, not reacting to a surprise.
But then look at Murray. Her hand flies to her mouth before the sound fully registers.
Yes. It's the horror reflex. That's someone watching a car crash in slow motion.
She saw it happen. She didn't just hear it.
And DJ River. River's the producer. She knows where every sound is in the mix. If that shot was in the beat, she would have looked at the speakers. She didn't.
She turned hard towards the vocal booth glass.
Exactly. She looked at the source. She looked at the room, not the speakers. That body language tells us the sound came from inside the room, not from the file.
God. But, okay, here's where I have to play devil's advocate against my own anxiety.
Look.
If it was real, where are the police?
And that's the realist counter-argument. It's the strongest one they have. We pulled the logs. The Las Vegas Metro PD report is crystal clear. No active crime scene was located.
No emergency dispatch triggered.
Nobody found.
So we have a live mic. We have terrified friends, but we have no 911 call.
Which leads you to the only logical conclusion left. It was a simulation.
Yeah.
But a simulation performed with such visceral intensity that it actually traumatized the people in the room.
It's the death of the persona. That's the main theory, right? That Daniel Bates, the actual human from Texas, decided that in order to survive, D.L.B. had to die.
And he didn't want it to be a metaphor. He wanted it to be real, visceral.
It fits the whole no price on peace narrative he's been building for years.
Exactly. We've talked about it for 3 seasons. D.L.B. believes peace is expensive. And sometimes the price of peace is burning down everything you built so nobody expects anything from you ever again.
There was that headline from SoundsLikeFire.com that just summed it up perfectly. He didn't die a rapper, he died an unreleased track.
That is a brutal headline.
It's brutal, but it hits. The idea is that he killed the content machine. He killed the expectation. If everyone thinks you're dead or, completely insane, they stop asking you for features. They stop asking for interviews.
But is it fair?
What do you mean?
Is it fair to the fans, to the sentinels? We had people on TikTok, real kids crying real tears. We had hashtag DLBDead trending worldwide. Is it ethical to simulate a suicide to make a point about privacy?
See, that's where I really struggle. I want him to be alive, obviously. I want Daniel Bates to be in the Philippines eating adobo and just chilling.
For sure.
But the trauma he inflicted on the timeline for 10 days, that feels like a violation. Like breaking the unspoken contract between an artist and their fans.
But maybe that contract is the very thing he's trying to break.
How so?
Maybe he's saying, you don't own me. You don't get to feel safe with my art. I am not your comfort object.
I am not your comfort object?
Wow. That leads us perfectly into the rage. Because if the live stream was the sorrow, then the diss track, that was the fire.
The hustle harmonics break. The return of the Reaper.
Okay. We have to address the elephant in the room. The elephant that is currently sitting in the Vivid Voices office break room.
The target of this diss track.
It's not us, thank God. I literally did a search in the leak file for my own name. 0 hits. I am safe.
You are safe. The target is the male debater from our sister show, the Debate aPodcast. Which, look, we love our network family, usually, but we have to be objective. The male debater didn't just poke the bear. He walked into the bear's cave, slapped it across the face, and then critiqued its interior design.
He really did. And we have to get into why this specific beef dragged D.L.B. out of his silence. Because this is a guy who has ignored major rappers for years. He ignored label execs, but this one podcaster, He couldn't let it slide.
It was the specific insults. The debater called D.L.B's entire career a sophisticated narcissistic exercise. And then, this is the kill shot, he called his trauma a curated collapse.
And an identity crisis branded as high art.
Ugh. Branded as high art. See, that's where the analysis fails and the deep disrespect begins. You have to understand the biography here. Daniel Bates isn't some art school kid who decided to be sad for clout.
No, we're talking about Mabank, Texas, the 903. We're talking about Operation Outreach.
Exactly. For anyone who doesn't know the deep lore, Operation Outreach was a 4-year federal investigation that Daniel faced when he was barely a legal adult.
He was facing real prison time. He was in holding cells, navigating a system designed to crush people like him.
He didn't learn about collapse in a sociology class. He learned about it when the feds kicked his door in.
So when you have a podcaster sitting in a nice climate-controlled studio, calling that survival curated or corporate, that's just a fundamental denial of reality. It's gaslighting. It's telling a survivor their scars are just makeup.
And you do not tell a guy who lives by the G code that his life is fake. That is the one line you just do not cross.
And the lyrics prove it. Hustle Harmonics Break isn't a playful rap beef. This is a correction to the public record. That opening line, you did a think piece on pain? Like, it was safely abstract. I did a decade in the dark. You reduced it to a act.
Safely abstract. That line cuts deep. Because, I mean, we do that. We sit here with our fancy microphones and we treat people's breakdowns like they're just data points. Oh, his engagement is up because he's depressed. D.L.B is holding up a mirror and saying, this is blood, not content.
And then he reclaims his body. You built a take on a body that ain't yours to fake. He's saying, my story belongs to me. You don't get to rewrite my history to fit your podcast segment.
And the sound of it. We have to talk about the production.
Right.
This wasn't that polished orchestral LFSIX sound.
No, not at all. This was produced by Hustle Harmonics. That's his greedy underground persona. It sounds like it was recorded in a closet at 3 a.m.
The vocals are clipping, the bass is muddy. It sounds like a documentary in a dark room.
It sounds like pure rage. Like he broke into the studio, laid down the verse, and just left before security showed up.
And how it dropped. It didn't appear on Spotify or Apple Music. It wasn't in some press release.
No. It was tweeted out by a very prominent adult film star and influencer.
Which is a choice.
The very specific choice.
It's a classic D.L.B choice. And look, I'm not going to lie. I may or may not be a closet ambassador for the Danny Hour X channel. Don't look at my browser history.
Right.
But purely from a strategic standpoint, it's genius.
It aligns perfectly with the whole outsider status of 11SIX. Think about it. Who does society judge the most? Who does mainstream media ignore or look down on? Sex workers.
And who has D.L.B always stood with? The outcasts, the people the system called unworthy. By leaking the track through an adult star, he's bypassing all the gatekeepers. He's saying if you're too bougie to click a link from a porn star, you don't deserve to hear the truth.
It's truth-fluent distribution. It filters out the casuals. It forces you to go to the gutter to find the real art. And in the gutter, there's no censorship.
It's also just incredibly petty and hilarious. I mean, can you imagine the corporate lawyers at V2V trying to explain to the board why their main artist's new single just premiered on an OnlyFans promo account?
I would pay so much money to be a fly on the wall in that Zoom call. Sir, we appear to have a branding issue.
No, we have a branding strategy. So, okay, we have the gunshot, we have the diss, and now we have the flood.
It's leaks.
Yeah.
It's an avalanche.
I feel like I'm drowning in music. I mean, 2025 gave us 16 albums, a historic run. But the last 10 days have been louder than that entire year combined.
It's the thank you for leaking phenomenon.
Yeah.
The rumor is that D.L.B physically walked out with the hard drives.
Right.
He took the master files to stop the label, his own label, from monetizing him if he was gone.
He pulled a heist on himself. But now, the fans in the Echo Archive are just leaking the songs back into existence. It's like the vault to vulture concept. The audience completely hijacked the narrative.
And the crown jewel of all those leaks is Home.
Oh, Home. We have to stop everything and talk about Home, because this song, it changes the geography of the entire saga.
The audio leaked a couple days ago, and the lyrics are so specific. Then I landed where silence don't judge your past. V2V based in Makati City.
Makati City, the Philippines. He said it.
He finally said it. We suspected it for so long. We knew the V2V headquarters were at 6795 Ayala Avenue. We knew the Layovers and Losses album was about those long flights. But to hear him explicitly name Makati as the place where silence don't judge your past, that confirms the sanctuary theory.
The Philippines isn't just a tax haven for his company, it's his emotional haven. It connects all the way back to the 4.44 in the Philippines lore.
And it connects to Tala.
Tala Diwata, who we now know as Leonary. We have to map this out. Tala was the mirror. Years ago, she was writing songs from the perspective of the Philippines waiting for him. She was the siren calling him across the ocean.
And now, with Home, he's finally answering her. He's saying, I made it. I'm here. It's this dialogue that has spanned years and multiple albums.
But here's the part that completely breaks my brain. The metadata of the leak file.
I have it right here. The leak metadata for the song Home lists the scheduled release date as February 11th, 2026.
February 11th, that's next week. That is after the live stream where he supposedly died.
Exactly. If D.L.B. died on January 25th, how is there a scheduled release for February 11th? This is the proof. This is the transfer of power theory in action.
The persona of D.L.B. might be dead, but the message continues. The release schedule outlives the man.
It's haunting. It's like getting a letter from a ghost. It proves there's a machine running in the background, fully automated. The exit architecture.
Which brings us to the structure of the end. The fans have decoded the sequence of leaks from Last Words before I go. It's not just a playlist, it's a legal document.
It's a will and testament. The structure is 4 parts. Part 1 was Mercy's Return. That was grief. Part 2 was Purgatory, the confession. Part 3, thank you for listening. The album tonight is The Funeral, the service itself.
And Part 4, Last Words.
Last Words is the will. It's the distribution of assets. And in his world, assets aren't money. They're truths, they're boundaries.
Track 10 on that leak is called My Funeral, and it's surprisingly a party track.
It's a banger. I want the subwoofers breaking down the casket.
He wants the bass to be so loud it literally rattles his own coffin. That is so on brand. Even in death, he wants to disturb the peace.
But then you get track 6, I Forgave You. This is the heavy one. You still breathing, but you died in my lane.
You're still breathing, but you died in my lane. That might be the coldest and also the healthiest line I've ever heard.
It's forgiveness without reconciliation. It's saying, I'm not carrying the anger anymore, but I'm also not carrying you. It's a complete emotional severance.
And then track 3, Not Friendly, the new policy. Do not doubt me. If you do not bring value, do not come near me.
It's the final evolution of the 11SXX philosophy. It's not just no price on peace. It's peace requires walls. He's building a fortress around his legacy. And at the center of that whole fortress is Mercy.
Mercy, we have to talk about her. For so long, people debated if mercy was a concept, a religious thing, a plea for forgiveness.
But it's clear now. Mercy is a woman.
Yeah.
Everything is about her. It always was.
And the visual of it on the Ink album cover, it's just devastating.
We've all seen the tattoo on his neck. It says Mercy. But on that album cover, the art shows a set of coordinates tattooed over the stem of a rose.
And the rose is her name, Mercy.
So he covered the name, but he kept the map.
He covered the person, but he kept the location, the memory.
That's the tragedy of it. He can't bear to see her name anymore, but he can't bear to lose the path to where they were. He buried her identity just so he could survive the memory.
And that one line from the live stream, pay me back in mercy or the world can fucking crash.
It recontextualizes everything. All the rage, the 16 albums, the entire business empire, it's all just bargaining.
He's a man trying to become powerful enough to demand a refund from the universe. He wants her back, and if he can't have her, he'll crash the whole world.
It was never a business plan. It was a grief ritual.
Which is why the Lost Youth remix hits so hard. The shout out to YHB Young Headbusters, the line, we ain't praying no more, just speaking truth.
He started as the Dirty South storyteller, and he ends as the Dirty South storyteller. He never sold out. He never went pop. He just went back to the mud.
And now that he's gone, look who's left standing. The Sentinels. His core team.
And the silence of the Sentinels is deafening.
Zong Sky. She's usually all over Twitter, engaging, clapping back. But after the stream, she posted a black square. The caption just said, ain't no marketing plan. Say his name. And
she deleted it.
Which makes it so much louder.
Right. If it was a marketing plan, the post stays up. It's part of the rollout. Deleting it implies panic. It implies maybe she said too much, or maybe the NDA finally kicked in.
And Marie Lux, please stop asking me if I'm okay. I'm not. That's not promo. That is a human being in pain.
And Sophia Luna, the manager, she's supposed to be the firewall, the spin doctor. But she tweeted, leave Leanna out of your rumors. This was bigger than y'all's fanfic.
She's trying to protect the humans from the mythology, but the mythology is already building around Leonary.
And this is the transfer of power we were talking about. The rumors of a Leonary mega album dropping this month are everywhere now.
So the theory is, He martyred his own persona, the gunshot, the disappearance, specifically to clear the lane for her.
Think about it. As long as D.L.B. is in the room, he sucks up all the oxygen. He's the main character. If he wants Leonary the Mirror to finally shine, he has to leave the stage.
He removed the sun so the moon could finally be seen.
That's a poetic way to put it. And there's that rumor about a track called Say to You. The word is that D.L.B. wrote it for his younger self, a letter to the kid back in Mabank.
Wow.
But he didn't record it. He had Leonary record it.
So he's using her voice to heal his own inner child.
Or he realizes his own voice is too damaged now. It's too scarred. He needs a pure vessel to deliver that final message. She's the future. The architect has left the building, and now the Sentinels are the owners.
That's leadership. It's tragic and messy and probably traumatic, but it's leadership. He built the house, he gave him the keys, and then he walked into the ocean.
Which brings us to right now. To the edge of the cliff. Tonight.
The midnight drop. Thank you for listening.
It's confirmed. Spotify, Apple Music, the pre-saves went live. February 6th, midnight.
I am looking at the clock right now. We are so close. And I have to break character for a second. Not that I have one left after this week, but I am actually shaking. We made it. We survived the drought, the flood, the gunshot, and we are finally getting the album.
It's the closure we need. But I have to ask, is it the closure we're actually going to get?
That's the terrifying part. What if the album ends with a cliffhanger? What if the last track is just static?
That's the final thought I want to leave everyone with. D.L.B. tried to impose silence. He took the hard drive. He tried to walk away.
But the fans imposed noise. We created the Echo Archive. We leaked the songs. We forced this thing into existence.
So who actually won? Did the architect control his own exit? Or did the audience hijack the entire building?
I think about the gunshot. Was that the end of the man? Or was it just the end of the content?
I honestly don't know.
I think he didn't die. He just logged off.
And in 2026, maybe that's the same thing. Maybe being offline is the only true death for a public figure. And maybe that's the only true peace.
Offline is the only true peace. I'm going to be thinking about that while I refresh Spotify for the next 6 hours.
We'll be in the Discord.
We'll be crying, we'll be raging, we'll be listening.
And we'll be analyzing.
Always. This has been The Deep Dive. Stay fluid, stay true, and for the love of God, check on your friends. See you on the other side of the album.